either the end of 19 or 20. We had bought the team. We had owned the team for a year, and we couldn't afford it anymore. Like, there's no way we could do it.
Wow.
And so we had to like kind of let our guys go because we couldn't afford it. And he's like, we were having drinks one night on the off season, having drinks on the couch. He's like, do you want to do tires? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Like, and then like January rolls around. He's like, all right, well, you should probably get in the shop and start learning how to do tires. I'm like, oh, we're actually doing that. Like, you were serious. Like, and that at the time is when we had 20 different compounds. And I didn't know what a LM was or a rib, or like, I had zero clue whatsoever and had to learn that real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted it, you got it. The place for the untold, real, raw, and juicy stories of dirt track racing. It's Dirt Track Confessions. And now here's your host, Mandee Pauch Mahaney.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dirt Track Confessions. I'm your host, Mandee Pauch Mahaney. And on this week's podcast, we have, I'm just going to jump right into it. She's like the unicorn of all unicorns in the racing world. Okay. Melanie Larson, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Good.
I was just telling Mel before we started recording, I was like, listen, I don't even remember how long ago we met at like a PR, out at PRI, a party.
Yes, it was. Okay. I know this because I think it was before I started doing tires. It was like the season, I think, right before I started doing tires, I think.
Okay.
I think it was like 4 years ago, maybe.
Okay. All right. So, yes, I'm so excited for this. So let's like just dive right into this, guys, because basically I told Mel, I'm like, this is my first time ever having a guest on the podcast where I'm like, no notes, we're free, we're going all in, because I'm excited to learn about Mel, everything she does, her background. I don't know, we click instantly whenever we see each other. So Mel, can you kind of give us a little backstory, right? So like, what did life look like growing up for you? Were you involved in racing at all?
Yes. So I grew up in Duluth, Minnesota, Hermantown, Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota. Right now I live in Lake Elmo. Lived in Lake Elmo, Minnesota with Brent for 10 years now. But I grew up in Hermantown, Duluth, Minnesota. It's right on the tip of Lake Superior. Like Lake Superior is like this, and it's that right there. Right. It borders Wisconsin. Grew up, my mom is one of 9 siblings, and she has 6 brothers. My grandpa, her dad, raced. So like he was like a, what do you call it? Just kind of got racing like really popular in the area when he was young. And so my mom and all her siblings grew up at the racetrack. And then I was born and I grew up at the racetrack because all my uncles raced. My dad raced. My cousins, like, I mean, it was like every weekend at the local racetracks was a family reunion, basically. Like it was, you know, some people, they like see their family Christmas and Thanksgiving. I saw my family like every Thursday or every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the racetrack. So, and that is in what we race around home is WISSOTA. So my family raced late models and modifieds, WISSOTA, which is just like a steel block. So just as not as much horsepower, a little bit more than a crate, but less than a super late model. And one of my uncles, very successful, and he raced against Brent, and I was like never a fan of Brent. I didn't really know him. He wasn't like a social person. Yeah. So I just naturally didn't like him just because he raced against my uncle and he wasn't like a social person. Like he didn't go out and party or anything. And I was like the party girl. And he was married. And then one of my girlfriends, we were at a race now probably 12 years ago. And she was like, oh, did you hear Brent Larson got divorced? And I was like, oh, okay. Like, whatever. Didn't think anything, like, whatever. And then I ended up meeting him that night.
No way.
It was at Cedar Lake Speedway at the big race end year. And then like we hit it off and we were married like a year and a half later or something like that. Oh, and then, God. Yeah. And then so when I met Brent, he was racing WISSOTA, late models and modifieds. And he was just getting into USMTS modified racing. So when I started dating him, he was just getting USMTS modified racing, and we dated for a while, did the long distance thing. I moved down to Lake Elmo, which is Stillwater, St. Paul area. And then he was like, we started doing USMTS full time. And I had a job that I worked down there and just even doing the US. Are you familiar with USMTS?
Nope.
Okay. So it's
I'm
United.
nodding my head, but nope.
Okay. So it's United States Modified Touring Series. So it's like, it's like the World of Outlaws kind of modified racing.
Oh yeah.
It's USRA. I mean, like of course it's not. It's USRA is a sanction, so it's different than UMP.
Okay.
It's like a lot of lately, some UMP guys have started racing a little bit with USMTS and vice versa, but they don't really mix a lot. Oh. That makes sense. Anyways, it's a traveling series for modifieds. Okay. Not your modifieds.
Yes. Modifieds everywhere but the Northeast. Those modifieds, got it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, he did USMTS, and then I think it was right. And then I quit my job because we were traveling so much, and he preferred having me with. But I didn't touch the car. Like, I grew up at the racetrack. That's all I've known my whole life. But I couldn't tell you anything about the car. Yep. Nothing. Like, I was just there to watch and have fun and whatever, the social aspect, and And then Arnie Ranta called him, who was a big name. He lives in our area, but he's a big name in racing in our area. And in the past, he had owned race teams that super late model, like did Lucas Oil and World of Outlaws. Like Terry Casey's a big name that he owned his stuff for years and years. And Arnie called Brent and said, "Hey, I want you to race for me." He called him. We were literally on our way to the USMTS banquet. It was January, and we had a team ready to go, super late model racing in March. Like, just a bunch of used stuff, whatever, just getting our toes in the water, so to speak. And so we just had like a little enclosed trailer in our van, and we'd go run like MLRA shows and just shows that were close, like World of Outlaws if they were close, just kind of getting in. And it was, I mean, it's such a difference. It's like going from Wasota late models, like, which is the top tier at home, to super late models is just, it's like a completely different world. Like, it's crazy. And then so we did that, and then we just did the Hell Tour for a year, and then we did World of Outlaws, and we've been on the World of Outlaws now since 2018, I believe.
Wow.
And
okay.
Yeah, and then Arnie had cancer the whole time and he passed away, I want to say 2 years ago now. He passed away, and Brent and I ourselves bought the team from Arnie. So like, and this is what a lot of people don't know, and they're like shocked actually when they hear it, because just Brent and I own every single thing. Like, wow. And we have sponsorship help, but like, we own the rig, everything. Yeah. And then so it came, we were at the end of, I want to say that 2000, I can't even remember. It was either the end of 19 or 20. We had bought the team. We had owned the team for a year, and we couldn't afford it anymore. Like, there's no way we could do it. Wow. And so we had to like kind of let our guys go because we couldn't afford it. And he's like, "So we can try doing this for a while. Do you want to do tires?" Like, we were having drinks one night on the off season, having drinks on the couch. He's like, "Do you want to do tires?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like, and then like January rolls around. He's like, "All right, well, you should probably get in the shop and start learning how to do tires." I'm like, "Oh, we're actually doing that? Like, you were serious?" Yeah. Like, and that at the time is when we had 20 different compounds, and I didn't know what a LM was or a rib, or like, I had zero clue whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And had to learn that real quick.
Dude, bless. Okay, it's all coming together now. It all makes sense.
So that's it in like a nutshell.
Yeah. When I said unicorn, this is what I meant by unicorn. Listen, Mel, there's so many people like, "Oh my God, Mandee, you're so amazing," and I'm like, you gotta meet Mel.
No,
you gotta meet Mel, because listen, I remember my first full season on the road following, like, we've got 2 series up here that we follow, the modifieds, and I remember calling my dad and just in tears. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I actually have to do stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know? But like and that's what a lot of people don't realize is it's not like we want to. I mean, I don't know about you, but it's not like I want to do it.
Yes.
But in order for your man to be successful,
yes. Like, would I do it? I would never do it for anybody else, ever. Ever. Never.
no,
It's like it's a whole different animal, like when it's your husband, and like it sucks, but like it's also so rewarding. Like, and I mean, because I don't just do tires, like I don't touch the car. Like, like when we had to swap to a spare car and we were shorthanded one day, like one at a race, and we had to swap like shocks and everything. Like one of our guys was like, okay, show me what to do. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just taking things off, throwing it. Like, I don't know anything. Like Bill talks set up and I'm clueless. I know tires. I know my tires, but clueless on everything else. But yeah, and it's like, that's what people don't get, how much work it is. Like at the track, at the shop, like a couple days ago, I was outside. It was like 35 degrees and I'm out washing tires and the car and all the parts and everything, like freezing my ass off. My feet are frozen and numb. And yeah, like that's the crap that stuff sucks.
Oh my God. And especially with tires, I feel like I definitely need to do a podcast not just explaining tires, but like tires are so instrumental when it comes to the races, and you're doing it leading up to, you're doing it at the track. Like it's a full-time job. Literally.
I love it, but it sucks. But I do love. I tell everyone, like, if I could just grind or not grind. I hate grinding. If I could just groove and sipe and that's it, that would be amazing. I wouldn't mind doing that because I actually enjoy doing that. But like, I hate grinding. You get all dirty and just it's gross. And I hate mounting, dismounting, like all the crap besides just grooving and siping. Yeah.
It's so funny because I just did a podcast recording. It hasn't come out yet, but at the end of the podcast, I'm literally like, if there's anyone out there who, like, I have met not even a handful of women who have been, like, ends up marrying a race car driver, but who have been there, like, born and raised in it. Because we were talking about this when,
yes, we were.
I'm like, I've been doing this for 30 some years. Like, we are old now. We're not.
I'm 38.
In racing years, that's old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. We're over the hill.
We're over the hill.
Like literally, that's like all the 19-year-olds now rolling in.
Yeah, seriously. So, okay, let's back up. You go into the races. I don't know. Well, so you might have been like what, in your 20s or something, maybe when you met.
Yeah, I was like 27. So like when we got into super late model racing, I was like probably 30.
Okay, so
Brent was 39, so Brent's 9 years older than I am. So he's really old.
He's really old.
Yes.
So backing up, early 20s, what did you envision for yourself? I am so curious.
Oh, okay. So yes, my best friend in the whole world. We grew up together. She's like my sister. Her dad races late models around home too, and she's my best friend in the whole world. Like I said, she's my sister, and we both, like, her mom and my mom would tell us our whole life, never marry a race car driver, like stay away. And we both said, like, never marry a race car driver, like stay far away. I envisioned myself like marrying like a hockey player or something. Like, I'm not saying like NHL, but like that was my type, like hockey player, like big, and I was a hockey player too. So, but that was like my type. I never wanted to be with a race car driver, like, because when I met Brent, I was like kind of getting out of racing. Like, I wasn't going racing every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was like in college. I was out of college at this point when I met him, but I was like not going to the races as much, going to the bigger shows and but it was like becoming less a part of my life, and that changed quickly.
Dude, I will always remember Gosh, well, sprint cars, but Freddie Raymer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'll preface by like, I'm like such a, like I got the blinders on, I guess. Like if it's not late models, like I'm clueless. Like the only sprint car driver I know is Donnie Schatz, but he's a late model driver. So
I mean, how can you not? Yes. Okay. So Freddie Raymer, he's big in like the Northeast, and I like when I was younger, my dad was racing sprint cars, and so every time I see him, he would like take me by the shoulders and be like so stern. He's like, "You were never going to marry a race car driver." Like he was so concerned. And then as soon as I started dating Mike, he was like, "What did I tell you for the past years?" And I'm like, I never. I'm like, I have 2 at home. You have God, how many?
And like probably a 10 like that are like related to me. Yeah.
That is insane. Yeah. And so that, oh God, that was, I mean, okay. So you were kind of getting out of it a little bit when you and Brent got together, but did you feel like when you moved away or anything, like not a divide, but like guilt at all for not being at those races for your family?
No, because I don't even care. I don't even feel bad saying this. So my family, all very, like very big. I have one uncle. I just not gonna say any names, but I have one uncle who's like the golden boy of the family, and he's he is a good race car driver, like around home and stuff. And like, if any of the girls in the family, like my aunts, my cousins, like bring a race car driver to Christmas or something, like this certain uncle is just kind of a douche. And yeah, it's like, don't threaten the throne.
Yeah.
And yeah, so no, I don't feel bad because he would just talk crap about Brent all the time. And so like, I don't have a relationship with him anymore. And no one in my family does.
Yeah.
So nope, don't feel bad. But coincidentally, my stepson, Brent's son, races against his son, my cousin.
Yeah.
And there's bad blood.
Well, so how far are you from like your hometown now?
2 hours.
Okay, so it's not.
Yeah. So when we race at home, like when we bring my stepson, Brent's son, he's 18. When we go racing with him, then I see my said uncle and cousin because they race against each other every single night.
Fun.
It's not a good situation.
No, I feel like that's like, I mean, traveling with the series. It's so funny because Mel and I were talking at World Finals, and she was like, "Listen, like traveling with the Outlaws, the people on it, they're awesome. Mind you, Mel's totally like the party animal over here. Like she is the party, and I'm over here like, okay, we need more people like Mel in the Northeast."
We have fun. We have so much fun, and that's like I told you. Like Max is like, "Oh, everyone's themselves." I'm like, Max, you're not talking. He's
got to earn his stripes, Mel, to get into.
Like, and I like Max. Like I told you, like we get along and everything. But like, it's like usually rookies always kind of keep to themselves and are a little like, because like rookie years suck. I think always suck just for everyone. Yeah. But no, because there's a group of us who we've been doing it for a while, and it's like family. But like I was telling you at Charlotte, like I'll make food, and I mean there could be 20, 25 people over at our trailer eating, drinking, like just hanging out, and yeah, we have a lot of fun.
And
I love it so much.
How she finds the time to do tires is beyond me. You know what? Tell me. Okay, I am curious. So, not at all putting down like any other race girlfriends, race wives, but like I feel like this is where we relate. Whereas like not that we're tied down to the trailer, but you're kind of like.
Listen, it's like I rarely leave the trailer during the races. Like I'm at the trailer, I'll go to the infield or whatever to stick because I stick for Brent too.
Sticks too.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's so nerve-wracking, is it not?
Yeah, so bad. And then it's like I get mad, like, why don't you listen to me? Well, I said get low. Why'd you say hi? Yeah. But
yeah. Listen, the first time I ever, you would die. The first time I ever gave my husband signals, it was a few years, maybe like 4 years ago or something. And I'm next to my father. We're both in the infield. My father's giving my brother signals. I'm giving Mike signals. And he kind of looks at me. He's like, well, what does that mean? And I'm like, I forget what it was at the time. I was like, I don't know, like go low or whatever. Couldn't tell you what it was. And when I tell you later that night, I go to Mike, I'm like, did you see my signals? He's like, no, I never looked. I'm like, cool. Okay. And then I talked to him about it not too long after. I go, so since I was just giving you signals that I understand, like, can we be on the same page of what you want? You know, because like the signals my dad gives is going to be different than what I give and what his dad gives. And I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it, but what I've kind of, what I do is I tell him, like, if he's like, I don't know, running where he can't see the leader, I'm telling him where the leader's running. Because I'm not going to tell you what to do. Absolutely not.
Oh, so I tell him where to go. Yeah. I give him, so I'll give him every lap he comes by, I'll give him his gap and where he should be.
Okay. So you do tell him where to go.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, it is. And one of my favorite stories is, so on World of Outlaws, we can't use actual sticks anymore. So it's just, we can only use like our body pretty much. Mm-hmm. So like I have different colored sleeves. So like one will indicate like where he should be. And then it's like the gap. So like I have a yellow sleeve and an orange sleeve.
Did you customize like a sweatshirt to do this?
I made my own. I have a white like vest that's like it's a white vest so he can find me, so he can see me, because white sticks out, and it's you know, like, what do you call it when it's like construction workers wear them, you know, it's fluorescent or whatever. Reflective.
Yeah.
Reflective. So a white reflective vest, and then I like sewed on an orange sleeve and a yellow sleeve, and they're like neon.
This is sexy.
It's super, super cute. And then, so like I'll give him his gap, you know, like, and then so one color indicates like, this is where you should be, you know, if it's bottom or top, and then that's the gap.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
And then there's a couple little secret little signals, but that's it for the gist of it.
Wow. Yeah, that is very intimidating. There's,
I mean, there's some people out there and they'll be, I don't know how their drivers see it, but they're like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how does he see that?
Oh yeah. There's this one guy, obviously like it's very important where you stand, right?
Yeah,
but there's this one guy, maybe he just does it for his own peace of mind. He watches from like the straightaway and he gives signals, and I'm like, he's not going to see you. He's not looking like this going down the street.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, because he's on the outside of the track, but that's a whole other story.
Oh yeah. It's so dumb. I wish they would just not let us do it at all. Because I hate it.
She hates it. Well, very creative way to come up with from them not allowing sticks. Like, what was the idea of that? Because you're still giving signals.
It's the dumbest rule ever.
Okay.
Like, because the whole original thing was no sticking at all. And the one race we were at, like, you can't make that rule because there's no way to enforce it. Like, you can, I think we did it, like, me and so-and-so will stand next to each other. If we're really close to each other, if we spread out, then you got a gap. Like, you know, if I take my hat off, like,
oh my God.
You know, you can do anything. So like, I think they realized they can't enforce no signaling, so they just said no sticks. So just use your hands. Well, it works just as well.
Well, it was always amusing. Like, was it East Bay on the backstretch? There was a mound, and like there'd be a line of people with sticks.
It was a big old hill. Which to me, like, so granted, like I've never been like in a race car racing, but like I can't imagine like driving, like looking up at the hill, you know, like the way I see it, like, listen, I can barely drive down the interstate and take my eyes off the road and not crash. Like, so how these guys, like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's beyond me. So I'm curious now, what does, like, let's say you're in the thick of race season, what does a normal week look like for you?
Are you enjoying this episode, want even more, or want a closer connection to the DTU fam? Join us over in Club DTU, where you'll receive early access to all of our podcasts, live race day updates, exclusive content, special merchandise, discounts, a community chat, personal recognition, and so much more. All inside one place, Club DTU.
So if we're in like June and July, like when we're racing like every weekend, we usually will be on the road. Probably if we're not racing around home, we'll be on the road we'll be gone for 4 or 5 weeks sometimes, and we'll just stay at somebody's shop. Like just a couple, like we spent like a month at probably 4 to 6 weeks. I can't remember how long it was, at Nick Hoffman's shop. And he has an amazing shop. But okay, so we'll go race and then go home or to our shop, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Unload, wash. And then for me, dismount tires, mount up more tires, cut them, groove them, do all the work, wrap them, get them ready. And then I grocery shop. I have to clean the rig, grocery shop, do all that fun stuff, laundry, clean my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like nonstop.
So with the Outlaws, I don't know, like, is the tire rule the same at every track, or do they change it?
No, so the tire rule that they made they changed a couple years ago is basically the compounds is the only tires we have it's a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Okay.
So it's made it so much easier because it used to be like 20, 30, 40, 70, 1350, 1325, 1400, 1650, 1600. Like there was so many different, but now it's 2, 3, 4. And so some tracks we might just run 3s. Some it might be 3 with a 4 option on the right rear, or sometimes it's 2s, 3s, 4s, like just run whatever.
Well, yeah, because you think about being on the road, you can only fit so many tires.
Yeah. And like that's helped immensely because they changed it because a lot, like, you could be racing in Illinois and the tire rule is LM 20s and 30s, let's just say. Mm-hmm. And you get rained out and there's a racing in Ohio, but it's 1350s and 1400s. Well, these guys in Illinois can't go over to Ohio if they're, get rained out because they don't have the tires for it. And so that's, part of the reason for this rule, and it helps a lot. And it helps a lot with not having to store as many too. Because like there's guys like Chubb Frank would tell us stories where they'd have hundreds of tires just to have in the rig to go race.
Yeah.
You could have for one night, we did the math, like one night just to have enough tires for every option on every corner, like 30 tires for one night of racing. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I remember it was a few years ago. So we do both series. Well, each series, one's on American Racers, one's on Hoosiers. And it was so bad, Mel. Our Friday night home track is an hour and a half away. We'd race on Hoosiers. We'd have to go back home, unload the tires, load the tires. So unload the Hoosiers, load the American Racers, and then truck back down. Or if you didn't want to have to, because home base, it'd be like one track and then the next track. So it would make sense to just keep going. So at some point we're like, just bring 2 trailers, literally a trailer just for tires. I'm like, no one can do this. A normal team cannot do this.
No. So what kind of, I guess I never even asked or really looked, what kind of trailer do you guys have? What kind of rig do you guys have and most people that race with you guys have?
So we have a stacker. If it's 2 cars, but that thing, it's older than me. So we just got a newer trailer and we're like, listen, weigh it out. If we can just get a small little tag behind to put the spare car in, and if it kind of comes out to the same cost,
Yeah.
I mean, you get it with when you're with a stacker trailer, like you can only stop at so many places.
Yep.
You can only get certain food because you can only fit in so many places.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You can
And
only take so many routes.
that's like one of the things too that like people like don't understand, like when you're traveling, like half the battle is getting to the racetrack.
Seriously.
You know, with like these rigs and all the maintenance and just crap that can happen. Yeah.
It's a lot. And
It's so much.
it's your home.
Yeah.
For how many races did you guys do this year? Did you guys keep track?
Yeah, probably only like 50 or something. Like the last couple of years, we just haven't been racing. We've been doing pretty much just World of Outlaws and then anything else that's like close to home that makes sense, like some XR races and stuff. But since my stepson, Brent's son, started racing, like if Brent's not racing World of Outlaws, he's home to go racing with his son. But like we were doing before that, we were doing like 100 shows a year. Which that was before I started doing tires though. So
earlier this year, you guys probably got a lot of rainouts too, right?
We had a ton of rainouts this year.
Yeah.
A ton.
Jeez.
I would say probably like 15.
Now, how are the Outlaws with like calling rainouts? Because what you're going, I can't even imagine. Like our tracks, we're within like a 5 to 8 hour radius, and if the races rain out and we're like halfway there, it sucks. But like you're pretty far.
Well, yeah, and that's what sucks. Like, oh, who are we talking with? We were talking with somebody about this. I don't remember who it was. I think it was on trial. I can't remember. But that's what it's like for Steve Francis, our director. I really do feel for him because like it's like no matter what call he makes, like if it's weather, it's like it's never the right call because you're gonna piss somebody off. But like, you know, you gotta keep in mind, like, so if we're World of Outlaws, if we're racing in Tennessee, let's just say, well, we're driving 15 hours. You know, the guys in Pennsylvania, they're, you know, out by you, they're probably what, 12 at least, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. You know, like guys are coming from even like Georgia. Like no matter where we're racing, you're having guys come from 12, 15, 17, you know, whatever hours. So typically they call, like if we're racing on Friday and it's 80% chance, they've typically call it like Wednesday.
That's nice.
Wednesday, Thursday. So we aren't on the road yet.
Mm-hmm.
But then of course you always got fans online bitching about it, like, which they don't understand. Like for the teams, that's $1,000 in diesel fuel. That's, you know, like for us personally, like if we're not on the road racing, we can make money at home because Brent does like fabricating. So it's like for us to drive to a race and it get rained out, that's like negative $2,000 to $3,000 just for one day.
Yeah.
For us. I mean, so yeah.
And that's another thing. I've thought about doing a podcast breakdown of like how much it costs to race one race. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm supposed to be supporting the sport. I don't really know if people want to know how much money they'd be spending.
Well, we had to break it down. I mean, it's been that, so that whole chatter has been like big in the late model world. Like,
oh, I think someone did that. Someone did that last year, didn't they?
John Martin did. He broke it down like and I can't remember what his numbers were, but it was like, you know, depending on your kind of your budget, but like anywhere between like $5,000 and $8,000 a night. And that's like, you know, putting laps on your motor, your tires, your fuel, like wearing your parts and just, you know, everything that goes into it. Like it's my theory on it, not theory, my way I look at it is like, it's stupid expensive. Like it's so stupidly expensive, but nobody's forcing us to do it. We're doing it by choice. Like to be completely honest, like can we afford to do this? Absolutely not. But we find a way because it's what we love to do. Because what's the alternative? Like go work a 9-to-5 job? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, so our whole mentality is like, we'd rather struggle financially and live our best life and struggle than, have money and be miserable working some office job,
Dude.
bored to death.
Amen.
Like, I don't know what I would do if we weren't racing. I don't know what I would do. I think I would be, like during COVID when they didn't have us racing for like 5 weeks, it was like,
it was weird.
It was terrible. It was like, okay, let's just go like work at the shop and twiddle our thumbs and do whatever and go home, watch TV and just drink. Like,
it was like the first time ever there was no deadline of you need to be somewhere. And I'm like, it was a great feeling, but at the same time it's like, okay, we need that routine, but not routine again. That would be great.
I enjoyed it for like a week because it's like, it's like when you like when I had rotator cuff surgery a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh well, besides like the pain, like I can't wait to like just sit on the couch for like a week and just binge Netflix and just do nothing.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of days, so it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going stir crazy. Get me out of here. I need to go do something.
Yeah.
And that's what that was like. So I don't know what I would do.
Jeez. So I gotta ask this question. Do you ever hit a point in the season of like burnt out or?
Oh yeah. Like all the time.
Okay, great.
I think when we're in our busy month, like there's like a 2 month, like a June, July-ish, like somewhere in there where we're like, it doesn't stop like at all. And I think I quit every week. Like I tell Brent every week, like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I mean, I'm still doing it. So, but yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone gets so burnt out, but again, it's like, we love it.
I feel like tensions get high and depends on how well you're running or how well you're not running. And for me, it's like, I hate to say seeing the same people all the time, but it's kind of like seeing the same people all the time. And I'm like, okay, here we go again.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because it's like, like, I literally love the people we race with. Like, it's like family. I see them more than I see my own family, like,
yeah, that's true.
I spend so much time with these people, but then it's like, oh, so sick of these people.
Yeah, it's funny because some of the girls I had the podcast earlier this year, I was like, we need to actually, I think you and I were talking about that, is like we all just need to find the girls we like and just go on a trip somewhere, like not racing, just because how it's so rare for me. Now, mind you, like any women that are listening to this, like I love you, I appreciate you, but I don't get to see people like you all the time. I get to see you
Charlotte and PRI.
It sucks. Yeah.
I know. We need to do that. We need to get that. Like you bring your girls, I'll bring my girls, my late model girls, but a lot of late model people.
What's that?
A lot of late model people.
Well, I can introduce you to at least some modified and sprint car people.
Yes,
I'll break you out of your shell a little bit.
Yes. But yeah, like we went in October. We had the whole month of October off, like the World of Outlaws did. And so me and Brent,
That is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it was amazing. And so in October, me and Brent and Nick Hoffman and his wife Lacey and Hannah Newhouse, who is our pit reporter, and Ricky Arnold, who is like Brent's best friend and my best friend too. And he was crew chief for Chris Madden, and then for Ricky Thornton Jr. he came with, and then Colby, who works for Kate Dillard, and Taylor, who is the fan engagement girl for World of Outlaws. We all went to Mexico.
This is quite the combo.
Oh gosh, we had so much fun. So much fun. It was the most. So we're already planning. Next year we're going, I don't know when we're going, but we're going again. And so we already have, like, there's people like they're coming up next year. Everyone's, so you'll have to come up next year. We'll bring in with the late model.
Well, unfortunately, October is like the big paying race month for us.
We're not necessarily going in October. We haven't picked a date yet.
Okay. So. All right. Well, either way, we'll do a girls trip. I'm so down.
Yes.
So, okay. Let's talk off season, because I don't know if for anyone watching this part, our girl is in a hotel room.
Yes.
So what does your off season look like? And really, how long of an off season do you guys really have?
Okay, so we got home from Charlotte. We raced Charlotte. Then we had the banquet. We came home. We washed everything up. Washed the rig. We washed the rig 2 days ago, and then Brent and the boys took the cars apart. We brought 2 cars down here. So I'm in Tennessee.
Okay.
Brought some cars and a bunch of motors. Like Brent is actually at our engine builder at Vic Hills right now, which is like an hour away from our hotel. But that's why I'm in a hotel, because we're bringing motors, so doing racing things, motors and cars down to Tennessee. And then we'll go back home on Friday or Saturday and basically strip down the cars. We're not getting new cars yet. Usually we would, not usually, like most people do. We're not, but strip down the cars, go through them, whatever, start building them back up. Just deep cleaning the shop, that kind of crap. Just getting ready, deep cleaning the trailer and the rig, which is, I haven't gone through the rig since after Charlotte. So I'm totally dreading like having to like just clean everything out, which is the worst ever. And then in December, we'll go to PRI. So that takes a few days. And then you got Christmas. Well, you got Thanksgiving, and you got Christmas. But yeah, it'll just be basically cleaning everything out, rebuilding cars, and then back to Florida in January.
So you get a month and a half.
This year we have 70 days. Usually it's like
60.
Yeah, exactly. No, like trust me, like it was like we have 70 days off. Like, is that less than usual? Like, no, it's like 10 days more. Like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we go to Florida, we basically just stay down there for like 5 or 6 weeks, because one, who wants to be in Minnesota in January and February? No one. I don't want to be there ever personally, and because we race in January and in February at Volusia. So we just stay down there and enjoy the nice weather.
Well, I don't know how we didn't hang out last year, but we're going to have to hang out this year.
I know.
Yeah. We're tied at our trailers. And
I was just to say, you're parked way down at like the bottom, and
put us at the bottom. Okay, I had to make my one trip up for my ice cream, and I'll stop and see you.
Yes. Because I do remember when the 1 or 2 years we did park down there, you came over and said hi. Yes. But I ain't seen you since we've been up on top.
No, you left me.
I know.
I understand.
I know.
That's okay. So, all right. Now I'm curious, of all the things, Mel, it can be whatever pops in your head, anything. But like being on the road, being the tire girl, team owner, anything and then some. Like, what is one thing, or it could be 5 things, like that you wish could improve? Now it doesn't have to be like a you thing. It could be
just anything in general. Like, what would make it better?
Racing, late models in general, the series, the tires. Who knows?
I wish, and Brent would agree with me, so I'm not like talking bad, but I wish we could be a little bit more competitive, for us personally, Brent thrives. He's good when the track is slow, slick, clean. You're not like, it's not in so many races, it's like hammer down. Like they'll go and water the piss out of it before our feature and it's hammer down, or like weather hasn't helped and whatever. So I wish we could get some more tracks like that could just be clean, slick, slow, like, because I love a good slicked off racetrack. And I think then he would have better performance, because like he'll do fine. It's just like, when you look at results, it's like, oof, it looks a lot worse than it was.
Yeah.
But that, and obviously I think I always wish like the cost of everything would go down, but I mean, that's
now you kind of mentioned whoever did the stats last year. I don't know, does it differentiate, God, I'm having a brain fart. Start money. Like how much a late model race is it different each time or?
No, so like for the World of Outlaws, it's a set thing. So if it's like 10,000 to win, it's 1,000 to start every night. If it's like 50,000 to win, it's 2,000 to start. It might change depending like on the track. If the track,
Yeah.
and I don't know the logistics of how they do it. Like who decides? Does it track? Does World of Outlaws? I don't know the logistics of it all, but it will change a little bit. But for the most part, it's all the same.
Yeah.
And I think everyone has been asking, and I think they have been making these changes. Like I know every year the World of Outlaws and Lucas have been really putting out more money, which is really nice. But everyone kind of is on the same page, I think, for the most part. Most people anyways, like they want it to be not so top heavy, like,
oh yeah,
and this isn't what it is, but this is an example of maybe how you see like 50,000 to win, 1,000 to start, like make it 30,000 to win and spread it out more throughout the field, because so many purses are so top heavy. And there's one guy that wins, and there's 23 to 25 whatever other cars. And like C. Francis said it well. He's like, he wants all his racers to be like healthy, to be happy, like so I think they continue all the series and stuff. I think they continue to work on that, and they're every year they're pouring more and more money in, which is great, because I mean, I only know it from the owner's perspective, so it's like that's the only whatever. But we couldn't as a team, we couldn't do it without the fans. We can't do it without the promoters. Like everybody needs everybody. It'd just be nice to see the drivers, the entertainment get a little bit more.
Oh, totally agree. I mean, it's 2024, gonna be 2025 any day now, and I don't know about you guys, but like for us, a Friday, Saturday night home weekly track, they're still paying the same amount of money the last like 5 or 10 years, and I'm like, but everything else has gone up.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Exactly. Like I don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure like our local track by us, we don't race there anymore. Like it's Wissota, so we can't race there, like because we're super late models, so we can't race there. But like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they are paying the same, if not less, than they were 10 years ago.
Yeah, absurd.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's a Brent always says, it's a sport of passion. Like if you like at the end of the day, nobody's really getting paid what they should for the effort and work they put into it. Like anybody.
Really, I like it.
Like the crew guys, the drivers, the owners, the tracks, for the amount of effort everybody puts in, like no one's getting what they should. Yeah. Because it's a passion. Passion project, I suppose you would call it, like Yeah,
I think my dad did that once. He added up like what he made in 1 week versus the hours he put into it. I was like, that's a terrible idea.
I think I think almost anybody could make more for the time you put in, probably more working at McDonald's, than
but you're passionate. You're passionate about what you do, and so that's what it's all about.
And then I look at it too, like, where could I ever have a job where like I get to work on race cars, which for me, not my favorite. Like I could go without working on the race car, but like, you get to go on and like, I'm like super competitive. Like competition is super, like it's very important to me, like competing. And so like, where else can I have a job where I could like go compete, be competitive, like get that part, and then hang out with all my friends every day, So yeah.
I love that. So, all right. I always like to leave my podcast with a tip, inspo, whatever it is that you want. But let's say, Mel, that there is a woman kind of in the same shoes as you, right? She wants to support her race car driver, whether it's a boyfriend, husband, whatever have you. What kind of tips or tip would you have her off the bat? It could be like run. Because
yeah,
out now.
I would say if you're weak, run, because it is not one for the weak. But if you're not weak, if you can do it, like, I think do it. Like, it sucks. Like, work on the car, work on tires, whatever. But like, it's so rewarding. And it's like, this is, I don't know how to say this. Like, I would probably consider myself like like feminist. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like super rewarding being a female. And like, I think it motivates me more being a female in a male dominant, like,
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Workforce, I guess, whatever you call it, industry, and like being better than them. Cause you can ask most of the other tire boys in the pits and they'll probably say I'm better than them.
It's a female touch. What can I say?
But it's like, I think that it motivates me. And no, it is though. Cause it's I'm not gonna say nurture, but girls are more with tires anyways, like detail oriented, maybe. I don't, you know what I'm saying though, like the woman touch, right? I think being a female, it pushes me to be better than them. And like I said, I'm not a feminist. I'm far from it, but there's still that thing, like, I'm a girl and I'm gonna do better than you and you're a boy and we're in a boy's world, whatever. And it's just rewarding. Like, I think the most rewarding thing is like being that partner with your husband, boyfriend, whatever it is. Like, it brings you closer. You'll probably fight a lot more, because we certainly do. But it's always productive. But like, I think it brings you closer. Like, you feel so much more of a team than just like, you're a team when you're a couple, but like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a whole different level, dude.
I don't really know how to put it into words, but it like brings your relationship to a different level. I feel.
It had me thinking how you said it, but there's not many different hobbies or careers out there that one can be with their partner and support them in.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like I said, it's not for the weak.
Definitely not for the weak. You gotta have thick skin, or you gotta want to have thick skin.
Right. Like, I literally, and I prefer it this way. Like, the guys in our pits, they treat me like one of the guys. Like, I'm there for locker room talk. Like, they're not like, oh, careful, Mel's a girl. Like, watch what you say. Like, they treat me like one of the guys. And that's how I personally prefer it.
I like that.
Yeah. So I have a blast. I love it.
That is why you are the unicorn.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, I had to do it. But Mel, dude, thank you so much. I hope that we can have you on again. It was like serious a pleasure. It was great getting to learn more about you, and I just love the opportunity to share you. Really,
thank you for having me. I hope I didn't like babble too much.
No, you get stuck at the trailer, and everyone in the late model world knows who you are, but like, we got to expand the horizons here and let the world know, like, there are women out there like you absolutely killing it. So,
and I will say really quick too, like, in the late models, there's quite a few females like being boss bitches, like whether it's girlfriends, wives, friends, whatever, just whatever. There's quite a few of them. Yeah, kicking the boys' asses.
That's great. Well, we're gonna find them, and I'm gonna bring them on. So thank you. I appreciate you, babe. It was a pleasure, and I hope you have a great off season.
Yeah, off season.
Quote unquote off season.
Yes.
Yay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.